Hi, it's me, Monte Merrick. I'm the director of Humboldt Wildlife Care Center and a co-founder and co-director of our parent organization, Bird Ally X. And yeah, this video and segment of the email newsletter, if you've got it this way, is called A Fork in the Road, and that is, facetious. But it's also true. It is a fork in the road. It's a change has come in for the way that we participate in the digital realm, doing our outreach, doing education, and doing our extraordinarily important work raising the funds that we require to meet our mission. So, we the first post as Bird Ally X that was made was April 23rd of 2009. That was just over 16 years ago. 2 days over 16 years ago. And so we have been, we've utilized the internet from the get-go. Our founding days, by us is considered September 22nd, 2009. So the idea preceded the founding. It was just a harebrained scheme in April of 2009, and by September of 2009, we had some colleagues that had joined with us on this harebrained scheme. The 6 of us co-founders: Marie Travers, January Bill, Van Masvidal, Dr. Shannon Riggs, DVM, Laura Corsilia, and myself, me, Monte. By May of 2010, we had our 501c3, and by the autumn of 2011, we had taken on the Humboldt Wildlife Care Center to the point that by 2013, we had merged our organizations and took possession. Well, to the extent that we didn't take possession, we took on the management of it. The possession of the care center and the possession of Bird Ally X resides with the people of California, where we are a public benefit corporation. So on behalf of the people of California, we have been using the internet extensively from the beginning. And these was the early days of Facebook and Instagram, and we used them a lot. And it was fantastic. It was an extremely easy method of reaching out and letting you know what we were doing, what we were working on, what we needed. And for the most part, it worked. Here we are. It's been 16 years and we're still here. So it's for the most part worked. And it hasn't been, it hasn't worked great. I wish that we had, a broader reach. I wish that we had more resources. There's still things that we're not able to do because our budget is too shoestring. But we are staying alive, and that's the job one. Staying alive is the first job. Expanding and growing from there, of course, is the next. And, and we've done that, including, difficult times over the years, and really extensive work. And not just through Bird Ally X. In 2013, I was on the board of the California Council for Wildlife, and 14 and 15, of the California Council for Wildlife Rehabilitators, and I was the inaugural chair of the Digital Community Committee, and also the Advocacy Committee as well. Those committees were born while I was there, and really proud of the work that we did there, and increasing our the connections between colleagues across the state of California, across the country, and across the world that have only because of the internet were really possible, as well as reaching, a lot of people all at one shot and without having to use the post office. And obviously we still send out our, annual mailer at the end of the year, but things have changed in the last couple of years. First of all, the billionaires who own the social media platforms that we've used are extremely complicit in the descent into authoritarianism and mayhem that we are currently witnessing, and the toxicity of those platforms has only been allowed to increase, and it's fueled with misinformation and disinformation. Remember, those are two different things. Disinformation is a mistake, and is misinformation is a mistake, and disinformation is intentionally wrong. But enough of the technical lesson on definitions. Just to get back to what we're doing, it's become increasingly difficult to utilize these platforms to reach you. I and and we don't reach you, and we don't reach you at all unless we give those platforms money. Our In order to enter the algorithm that puts us in your feed, we have to provide dollar bills, and it doesn't generate the resources to warrant that at this point. Um, and frankly, we just have it's a constant battle keeping toxic people off of negative comments and attacks and just utter nonsense off of our pages, and keeping that information for what it's for. People who want to know about what we're doing to help our wild neighbors in need. And the the our inability to use those platforms has really it's reached a critical point where I just feel like it's no longer, it's not it's unconscionable to continue using these platforms, especially with what they are promoting, and coupled with the rapidly plummeting efficacy of them for meeting our needs. And our needs, it's about us. It is about us. Our needs are our needs. We are not going to be able to meet our mission unless we reach you and let you know what we need so that you can provide it, because you are the ones who provide what we need. Nobody else. Never been so glad to not have federal funding. In any case, so we're going to have to experiment with other ways of reaching you. And, it's baby season. We have over 30 patients in care, close to 40 patients in care right now. That'll very soon be 100 patients in care. By the end of August, we'll be well over 1,000 patients so far for the year. Right now, we're at about 350, and every one of those patients requires food, requires medicine, requires heat, which is caused by electricity. Oh, right, we're going to be going solar. So this is all stuff that is really important for you to know so that you can support it. And we need to be able to get that information to you. So I've included, if you're seeing this via our email, which probably you're not, because statistically, what it provides a report, and really. Only 3% of you are that receive the email are active. Active, read it basically. So, or look at it. So anyway, we'll see if this reaches you, and I'll post this in other places. We are still utilizing our account at Blue Sky, which is relatively new, and you can find us on Blue Sky under Humboldt Wildlife Care Center, Bird Ally X. And we will it's not super filled with information right now, because it doesn't get seen by anybody, because nobody knows we're there. But maybe this will bring you there. I hope so. And perhaps we'll come up with other ways that we can be in regular contact. I hope so, because the way forward is unclear, and the times that we're entering or that we're in are fraught with difficulty and chaos and uncertainty, and that is definitely having an impact on the resources we have available. We're still rebuilding our facility. We still have a bunch of mouths to feed. We still have staff to pay. We still have utilities to pay. And it's scary. We are in a frightening place right now, entering baby season, without a reliable way of letting you know what we need. So if you have any ideas, don't hesitate to let me know what they are. And, very proud of the community of support that we've built. And I'm thrilled to continue doing this work. And no matter what the future brings, one thing you can count on is that we will be here doing our best to meet our mission. So I hope you have an excellent spring, and I hope that you're safe from all of the trauma. And let's stay in touch. I adore you guys, and I appreciate you like you don't know. So take care. So long. Bye-bye.